Yo, Rocco B Scotty G. It's Monday night, February 5th, 2024, and we are live.
Let's go, baby.
Is Pro Football Uncensored. This is Naked Bootleg.
With the second pick in the draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson.
I don't want to be a cowboy.
You like that? You like that?
Always like it.
Start it up.
This is a bootleg. Then he comes right back with another bootleg.
I'm Rocco B, the longest reigning heavyweight champion of all time in Louisville, Kentucky, and back in our lovely, unbelievable hometown of Toms River, New Jersey. It's the stud muffin of all stud muffins, baby. Scotty G. How we doing, Scotty?
How you doing?
Woo, baby.
What's going on, Rock? How's it feel to be live? Live and in color.
Live, homie. Live. We used to do podcasts, just audio. Then we took it to the video level. Now we are live and in living color, baby. What do you think about all this shit that's been going on this week in the NFL?
Oh, you mean the Pro Bowl, the Senior Bowl?
Oh,
you mean the chip shot competition? Is that what you're talking about?
The future of the league, you know, when we're gonna put fucking flags on our hips and stuff.
Hey, I will say Stroud had some incredible throws. I know you didn't watch it, but he had some incredible throws.
Fucking incredible.
And Sauce got his first pick of the fucking season in the flag football game.
Well, yeah. Again, maybe if Sauce is playing in 5 years the way he's playing, he's gonna get the picks like he did there.
Hey,
I missed the Pro Bowl, to be honest, especially my boy Sean Taylor. You remember when he lit up that punter in 2005?
Yeah, they still comment about that. That was incredible. I do have some good football news though.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard.
All right.
But MetLife is going to be hosting
the
2026
Yes, I did.
World Cup, baby. The final.
I did. So you think that that because of
I know where you're going with this.
Because of the FIFA deal, the fucking pussy soccer players can't play on turf. So you think that they're going to install the grass for your boy? Huh?
No, they won't do it.
No,
there's no fucking way.
No
way. So for those who don't know, football players have been complaining. The NFL players have been complaining. I shouldn't say football players. The NFL players have been complaining that they want grass instead of turf. But unfortunately, all the owners are saying, go fuck yourself. We, use the stadium for 6 different things, and we don't want to keep up with the grass.
Expensive. Yeah.
So your Achilles, we don't give a shit about. Your knees, we don't give a shit about. Rub some dirt on it.
Replace you. No problem.
So even though the Jets have invested in Aaron Rodgers, and he's at the end of his career and just came off an Achilles tear, their probably best offensive lineman came off an Achilles tear. Their stud receivers coming off a high ankle sprain since week 6 that he claimed was from the turf.
Correct.
And the entire league voted the MetLife Stadium as the worst league as far as turf goes in the fucking world, basically, because, there's nowhere else to go. With that being said, they still, I guarantee, will not put the grass in until 2026. And then after the World Cup, I guarantee you, it's coming right the fuck back out.
Brutal.
There's no way.
Brutal. Scotty, real quick, before we really get into it, I just got to tell you a story about this morning, if you don't mind.
Oh, I love your morning stories. They're always
so
colorful, I guess, descriptive.
Well, you see, my classic 2002 Emmitt Smith throwback jersey that they wore on Thanksgiving is one of my favorites that I have in my closet.
How come?
I just love the double star. I love the way that it fits. It feels. It's it's a classic. I'm not a big fan of.
I thought you were going to say something else when you said I love the double.
Okay, well, so that's let's keep this rated R at least.
Yeah.
But I said you know what I do in the morning, right?
Unfortunately,
I wake up in the morning. Go make myself some black coffee.
Love some black coffee.
About 12, 14 ounces. Medium dark. This morning I put a little protein in it,
The darker the roast, the less caffeine, just so you know. Be careful.
Correct. So I don't want to go fucking nuts in the morning.
Medium's
save that
good.
for the workout.
Medium's good. Medium's good.
But, this time, after I drank the protein coffee, the profi, if you will, or the protein, however you want to put it, I go in the bathroom.
Coffee and
And,
protein.
it's fucking delicious.
I wouldn't have an ass after that.
Well, this morning, I'll tell you what, when I go into the bathroom and I take my morning Philadelphia, I look down, okay, and I said, man, what does that look like? What in the bowl? What does that look like? And I said, it looks exactly like Philadelphia. I mean, it's as plain as day. There it is. It's fucking Philadelphia right in a bowl. But as I'm wiping my ass, Scotty, with this, I think about this beautiful jersey here I'm wearing. As I'm wiping my ass, something comes into my mind that I couldn't even imagine. My favorite fucking Christmas movie, which is Jingle All the Way with our boy Arnold. But there's another co-star that's in that movie that is also in my mind.
Dak Prescott?
Who told you you can eat my cookies?
And that would be Sinbad.
Put that cookie down now!
And Sinbad, to me, as we all know, looks exactly like Dak Prescott. And I said to myself while I'm wiping my ass, what are the fucking Dallas Cowboys going to do? Can you tell me? Can you tell me what the Dallas Cowboys are going to do this year?
For what? The offseason? For the regular season? What I don't know where you're going with this.
Sinbad. Okay. What are they going to do with Sinbad? I'm going to tell you.
They're going to extend them.
What they're going to do. You think that Dak Prescott, we all know.
Yeah.
Ain't going to win a fucking Super Bowl, right?
I don't know that, but
Does anybody know that? I do. I'll tell you that.
It's not
He's
looking
got
great. I'll tell you that.
Highest cap hit in the league behind Mr. Masseuse, Scotty. Okay. Behind
But
Deshaun
who-
Watson. Okay.
What's Mahomes at though? Isn't he like third?
He's number 3. Okay. But Mahomes wins Super Bowls. He wins chips. Okay. So what do you think? What do you think that the Dallas Cowboys should do? If you asked fucking 10 Dallas Cowboys fans in a row, you put 10 of them right in front of you, and you ask, oh, fucking trade him, fucking cut him, he fucking sucks, get rid of him, we don't want him.
Is that what they sound like?
I'd be right there next to him.
Yeah. Why? How come the state of Texas and really the whole country of Dallas fans are not fans of Dak Prescott? Just because he's let you down too often?
He fucking sucks.
Oh, I get
And
it.
we know what Troy Aikman has done. We know what Roger Staubach has done. We know what
Don't
Tony
say it.
Romo
Don't
should
say
have
it.
done. He should have
Fucking
done.
Tony Romo.
Okay, we know that Dez caught it. Okay.
All right, keep going.
So what do you do? What do you do? Do you trade Dak Prescott?
I mean, I would if I was looking for the future, but I don't think Jerry's doing that.
You can't, Scotty, and this is why. Triggers a $62 million cap hit. I don't give a shit if anybody was going to take all of his salary and is going to give us 13 fucking first round picks and making it like Herschel Walker 2.0. You can't do it. Well, why don't we just cut him? Just cut him loose. Let anybody sign one. We don't get shit back for him. Cut him. We trigger the same cap hit.
You can't cut him loose or trade him without getting someone who's just as good, if not better.
So,
I mean, that's just a fact.
with all that being said, with the cap hits, you can't just get rid of them. You can't trade them to the fucking Chicago Bears and go get Caleb Williams or Drake May or Jaden Daniels or insert quarterback here. Let's just let him play it out. The last year of his contract. Let's let Dak, Mr. Sinbad, and let's let fat-ass Mike McCarthy be just the lame ducks and let him just whack all over the fucking field this year.
So
And then
he's due
let him go.
60. He's due $62 million for his last year, or that's just what the cap hit is.
The hit.
What's he due for the last year? 30-some million.
This last year,
40?
59. 59. I told you he's right here. He's the 59.4. He's the
Why would
second highest
they
cap.
structure it that way?
Now, if you just said, let the lame ducks fucking walk and quack out of here. This is the problem. If you let him walk as an unrestricted fucking free agent, you still get $36 million in dead money next year without him on the fucking roster.
So
right?
wait. You're saying after 2024, if he
Yes.
walks,
If you let him
you
walk,
still owe money.
36 dead cap money in 2025. Okay. Holy shit. I'm sitting on a bowl, Scotty. Like, not only does my ass hurt, now my fucking brain hurts because I'm trying to figure out and finagle each little crevice of my asshole and then my fucking in my brain and try to figure out how
You do a lot more. You do a lot more thinking on the shitter than I do. I'll tell you what.
It takes a lot of Cottonelle. Okay. So I said, what's the solution? What is it? Kept thinking. My fucking feet got numb. I was on the bowl so fucking long this morning. And then I realized my Dallas Cowboys are fucked. Okay.
So I don't understand. I don't understand. So what do you do?
Here's what they have to do, Scotty. They need to extend his contract. Because it's the only way. If we heard the almighty Jerry say, well, I'll tell you what, I mean, we're not going to build for the future. I envision us, going right all in for 2024. That's what's going to happen if they're going to go all in. And they're going to give McCarthy the lame duck the last ride like they did with Jason Garrett when he went 12-4, won a division, and Dez almost caught it. And he actually did. We all know it. And then he got the extension. With Dak Prescott, it's another prove-it year. Can you win a Super Bowl? It would be great to just let him play it out, and let's see what happens. But as I told you, you can't do that because then it's 36 mil down the fucking toilet like my Philadelphia shit earlier this morning. So you can kiss my Dallas Cowboys chances of winning a Super Bowl before Jerry Jones croaks. Goodbye. It's over. It's over. And finally, thank goodness, this morning after I came to that realization, my shit was over. And I could get up and I finally could fucking feel my feet again. Okay. But that's where we're at. I really am bummed.
I don't understand. So he walks after the contract's over and it still costs you dead money.
36 big
So
ones.
is there, if you extend him, is there a way to kind of manipulate the money so that if you traded him, it wouldn't be as big of a cap hit?
So the only thing that they could do.
Or what if you tag and trade him?
You can, what they call a post June 1st trade cut, however you want to put it, a post June 1st dismissal. You still have $62 million in cap hit. It just depends on whether you want to take it in 1 year or whether you want to spread it over two.
Honestly,
you're going to lose the same money.
Do you want to know my honest opinion?
And someone has to then take him. Number one, he's got a no trade. Number two, somebody's got to then take him and extend him and pay him $60 million a year because he's going to demand more than Burrow made. Nobody's taking that. Nobody. It's fucking brutal, Scotty. We're done. It's over.
I would just trade him and make this next year kind of a wash.
It's the problem is
I would just take all the 62. I would take the $62 million cap.
Oh.
I would trade him. I mean, I might even trade fucking Parsons at that point. Get all my ducks in a row, and then the year after, go all in.
Brutal.
But you got to get somebody. You got to get a quarterback in between, which is easier said than done.
It's brutal, man. So I'll tell you, that was it. That was it.
You think Dak's got no shot though? If they build around him to make him more of a game manager?
I don't know when you lose Dan Quinn, when you surrounded him with all of the pieces already this year. You got to pay Lamb, you got to pay Parsons, you got to restructure dudes like Zach Martin again. You got to restructure guys potentially. In the case of Lawrence, you still got to pay, like I said, Parsons. Here's the thing though, too. The big free agent, even though I think he's done, Tyron Smith. I've always told you Dak Prescott can't play without Tyron Smith. So what happens if he doesn't come back? Fuck that. It's over. If he comes back, you got to pay him probably an astronomical number.
What if you draft someone that's good?
You can, but guess what? There are so many holes on that team, and especially with the fact that you're going to have Brandon Cooks, you're going to get rid of Gallup. You got, you can't.
Hey,
it's unreal.
We got a lot of time to get into the Dallas offseason. So I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I do want to just say this one thing. To me, forget about Dak Prescott. You're fucked because of the San Francisco 49ers, the Detroit Lions. Fuck. I would say the Los Angeles Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, dare I say maybe the Washington Commanders if they get a quarterback. I mean, there's a lot of other reasons. Oh, the Green Bay Packers. Like, there's a Minnesota Vikings if they keep their shit together. Like, there's a whole lot of other reasons, because my problem with the Cowboys isn't that they're a bad team. The problem is you guys lose somebody, or, you lose somebody and then you replace them with the exact same fucking talent. You'll lose a Cooks and replace them, like I said, with like a Tyler Boyd or someone of the same magnitude. You'll lose a Tyron Smith and then bring in like a Bakhtiari or someone who might be good but also gets hurt, just like Tyron Smith. Yeah. It's like you guys never elevate. You just keep the same.
But that's what Jerry Jones says. He says, we're going to get away from it, right? We're going to get away. We're going to get away. You can't get away from it when you still have the same quarterback, still have the same coach that have shown you now 3 years that they can't do it, especially together. Everyone said, oh, it's fucking Jason Garrett. Oh, it's fucking this guy. Oh, it's that guy. No, it's fucking Dak Prescott. And we all know that Mike McCarthy's not the guy that can get him over the hump in the playoffs, because he hasn't done it 3 years in a row now. Okay. So I don't give a shit if you're the MVP of the regular season. How does Lamar feel about the MVP of the regular season? How does Cam Newton feel about the MVP of the season when he was that year? Okay. So I don't care about that shit. You got to win a Super Bowl. Okay. And especially when you are probably a top 3 on paper talented team. You can't fucking crap out the first week of the playoffs. Ridiculous. So, but that's it. Let's get off the Cowboys, because I'm just sick.
Speaking of getting over the hump, you think your boy Cliff Kingsbury can get Aiden O'Connell over the hump? Oh wait,
Aiden.
wait
a second. Wait a second. Oh, Cliffy boy fucking put on the brakes, didn't he?
Fucker gave us the old fucking look over here. I'm going this way.
Maybe he's got a gambling problem and he don't want to be in Vegas, right? I don't know. I think he's going to the Commanders. Unbelievably, he chooses Washington.
What are your thoughts on this, man?
This was Chicago.
This was kind of shocking.
Everyone forgets he was in Chicago for a long meeting with them a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I don't want to stay in Chicago.
Was it him or was it them, though?
First pick. I mean, first pick. If you think, oh, it's Caleb.
No, but what if Chicago didn't like him?
Well, maybe. So then he goes to Vegas and he says, let me get a room in a fucking MGM, and and let me check out this Sphere.
Yeah.
And let's
heard U2's playing.
One of the back offices of Allegiant.
U2 still sounds good.
U2 huge. And let's do it. All of the reports came out that he was going to be the new Raiders offensive coordinator. Okay. And then a minute later, no, actually, no, that's not going to happen. Sorry, I'm out of Vegas.
Getsy.
Okay. Yeah, Luke Getsy, who was real fantastic with Justin Fields, throwing the ball fucking sideways every other play. Okay, so then you're like, okay, well then where's Kingsbury going to go? Eric Bieniemy, like, is he in no man's land because Dan Quinn just got hired with Washington? What are they going to do? I buy Bieniemy.
I gotta say something about Bieniemy when we're done with talking about Kingsbury too, real quick.
Ooh, Kingsbury. So I believe, and I've told you this for a long time. I mean, the first thing I told you was Caleb Williams,
a marriage,
Chicago Bear. Okay. Number 2. I told you that where is Caleb Williams from?
I don't know. I saw Caleb Williams as a kid with a shirt with a bear on his shirt. To me, he's a lock for Illinois.
Bear in a shirt when he was fucking 3.5 years old.
I'm
and he's
pretty
definitely
sure
up in Chicago.
he had a teddy bear there as well.
Sure.
So I mean,
Sure.
this guy seems to love the
Makes sense.
animal.
He talks shit about Chicago. We all know he wasn't going to go to Chicago. Then you have to say, okay, well, where's he going to go? Well, where's the kid from? Let's just, let's think about that. Washington, D.C. So now you're going to tell me the Commanders with number 2 pick. We all know he's not going number 1.
We don't all know that, but that's what you think.
Chicago. He's not going to go to the Bears. Okay.
That's what you think.
And then maybe because he's going to follow his boy Kingsbury from USC. Well, Kingsbury goes to Vegas. Oh, bada boom, bada beep. See you later, Aiden. Fucking insert Caleb. You don't paint your fingernails, so you're out. Oh, I'm not going to Vegas. Now he's in Washington. Bye-bye, Bieniemy. Hello, Kingsbury. Well, now.
Poor Bieniemy.
The fucking whole deal, like I told you was going to happen, is probably going to happen. 2-1. Washington trades up, goes and gets the hometown boy. Chicago gets another, maybe like a prince's ransom. I wouldn't say a fucking king's ransom here to move back 1 pick, but they're going to get something. And then that's where it gets fucking juicy. That's where it gets a little salacious for me, because we all said, is Chicago in love with one of these new dudes? Or do they still have a little crush on Justin Fields and they're trying to, massage him and figure out, what can we get out of you? I don't want to, get into the whole Watson situation, but the fact that Fields could potentially then still be the Bears quarterback and the Bears surround him with
I'm not buying it.
We'll see, right? We'll see. But I just don't think Caleb Williams is going to be a Chicago Bear.
So, Rock, real quick, there's some news came out today that apparently Kingsbury was in Las Vegas and it was a done deal. And supposedly he wanted 3 years on the contract and they were only willing to give him 2. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that smells like bullshit to me.
Bullshit.
Why would you blow up an entire deal because of 1 year of a contract? Now, I understand there's been massive turnover as far as OCs have gone, but does that not seem a little fishy?
We all know what the conversation was. Okay.
So tell me about the plays you got. Well, I mean, I got Devontae Adams running this way. I got Josh Jacobs running that way. It's going to be incredible.
Cliff, hold on a second.
What could be the matter?
We don't envision Josh Jacobs being back with the team next year.
Okay.
I can make it work. I can make it work. We got backs. We can get one of these great backs from USC that I coach. We got Devontae Adams. I mean, that's the
Devontae Adams gonna be great. I'll give him a couple extra plays.
Cliff, actually, Cliff, the Jets have been really in talks with us, and we love their number 10 pick that they have.
So no Josh Jacobs, no Devontae Adams. At least we got Hunter Renfrow, right?
Yeah. Cliff, we thought maybe Hunter Renfrow was going to leave in free agency as well. So we don't think we're going to resign. So maybe I think on top of that is, well, number 1, who the fuck do I got here? Number 2,
dude, he definitely walked in there and was like, "Okay, you're getting rid of everybody. Like,
everybody."
What do I do?
And then even if they trade up and make a miraculous trade with Chicago to go get Caleb Williams at number 1, who the fuck's he throwing to? It reminds me of that unbelievably funny fucking Dice Clay joke. Tree blind mice, see where they run. Fuck are they going? Oh my God. I mean, like, where the fuck are they throwing? That's what I'd say. That's a Caleb. Hey, where the fuck are you throwing?
I know.
But here's the thing. With Washington, it makes more sense because then Chicago, if they want a quarterback, they're not going to lose out on the guy. Like, let's just say, which I believe, they don't like Caleb Williams. Why would they draft him number 1? Why would they draft another kid number 1 when these teams want Caleb Williams? So they're going to trade, get a prince's ransom. They'll take fucking whoever they want at number 2 if they're taking quarterback. And Caleb Williams goes number 1, and now I believe it's Washington. So, all right. So, Scotty boy,
what's up?
I got this weird weird fucking feeling. Okay. We're talking coaches, right? We're talking Washington, the Commanders, who surprise everyone and fucking blow our minds and go with Dan Quinn. When we thought it was Ben Johnson and, maybe even Mike McDonald, all these dudes. Where's Vrabel? Where's fucking Pete Carroll? Where's Big Balls? Okay? Where the fuck is Big Balls Belichick? Okay? And I said to myself, best coach of all time. Okay, maybe can't win without
not according to Marlon Humphreys, by the way.
Tommy Brader. Well, we'll get into that in a second. But I said, well, okay, Vrabel. People call him a dickhead. People call him abrasive. Tennessee has really fucked up since the AFC Championship game a couple years ago, if you really think about it. But okay, I can maybe think about that. Maybe he really wanted the Chargers job. Harbaugh took that from him. I get it. Pete Carroll, he's fucking 87 years old. He's fucking chews on his gum like he's fucking going nonstop. I don't really like that. But Belichick, greatest coach of all time. How don't you get a guy, say in Atlanta or Seattle, somewhere where it's like ready to go? Just get a piece, get a quarterback, and you're ready to go. And you got this guy who's going to change the culture. Fine. How does that happen? Maybe he wants the Cowboys job. Maybe he does want the Giants job. I get it. Maybe he even wants fucking Sirianni gone to Philadelphia and he wants to take over the Eagles. I doubt it, but we'll see. But honestly, I asked myself the question. Big Balls is 15 wins away, Scotty, from breaking Don Shula's record. All-time wins for a head coach. Okay. But as we remember, the New England Patriots in the Bill Belichick era, the regime, if you will,
I already know where you're going with this.
had a lot of fucking bullshit going on,
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, the Tuck rule with Tom Brady. Nobody knew what the fucking Tuck rule was. But, that's right. We got to have the Patriots win the Super Bowl this year because we just got our fucking towers taken out by these fucking assholes. And we want the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. Okay, fine. You fucking, filming and recording the whole fucking Rams walkthrough for the Super Bowl. You know exactly what they're going to do, when they're going to do it. You're the Patriots. We want you to win. 2001. It's one of my favorite fucking memories of my life watching football, but now I know it's tainted. Imagine if you were alive for the Joe Namath fucking Super Bowl. So, Spygate is another one, right? Okay, Spygate. That goes all the way back. Okay. Then Deflategate with Brady. Then Spygate 2 later on when they're in the fucking Bengals press box.
I don't even. Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
So all that shit, right? That's Belichick. It's Big Balls, right?
So what are you saying?
They were fined $3 million during his era.
What color is the ball you're talking about?
Yeah, right? Is he being blackballed?
Nah.
Is Bill Belichick Mr. Big Balls?
Look,
being blackballed by the NFL because they don't want him to be the top dog head coach of all time. This is his penance for what he's done over his career. I don't think it's fucking that crazy. How didn't he get a job? How doesn't he get a job? And let's just wait. Just imagine if he doesn't get a job next year. You don't think he's getting Kaepernick? You don't think he's getting Gruden? You don't think he's getting Tebowed?
Look. Let's hold our horses here for a second. So, do I think he could be blackballed? If he doesn't get a job next year, you might have me. But as far as 1 year,
I had you at hello.
As far as 1 year, dude, come on. You even got his dad coming out. I got a quote here from Brady Sr. I don't know. Is it Tom? I guess it's Tom Brady Sr. I guess it's got to be.
Yes, it is.
Senior.
Yes. I would hope so.
So he says he runs a military system. It's a different generation. Bill is a great coach, but his interpersonal skills are horrible. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Basically, he's saying the guy's an asshole.
That's the bottom line because Tom Brady Sr. said so.
One of our longtime listeners, Sarah Lira, will tell you she's Mr. Tom Brady Sr. is one of her regulars at her cafe, and she will tell you.
Yeah.
What? Does she have what?
Does she have any recollection of maybe does his son come in there with him every once in a while at all?
No. She doesn't know anything about that.
Okay.
But she knows the father very well. And she will vouch and say he's an honest stand-up guy. And I'll take his word. He's basically saying Bill Belichick is an asshole. So with that being said, I'm sure he had a lot of problems in a lot of his meetings, a lot of his interviews. I'm sure people are saying, okay, we don't think you're going to be here long term. So, we don't want to start something over. I said to you this the other day, just randomly talking about this, not talking about the Black Bowl, but just in talking about Belichick in general. He wants to go, or not him. I'm sure he doesn't care where he goes, but a team that wants to bring him in, knowing he's only got maybe 2 years, is not going to bring him in unless they're ready to go. And the only team on this cycle that was maybe ready to go was the Chargers. And Jim Harbaugh was the clear-cut favorite out of everybody. Yeah. So who else was ready to go? Seattle, maybe. Atlanta doesn't have a quarterback.
You got Kirk Cousins. You got Russell Wilson.
I'll tell you but you can't guarantee that.
Yeah, you can. I mean, Atlanta was the big one for me for two reasons. One, because of the roster. Number two, because the owner is 98 years old. Okay. You're not going to wait. You really think fucking Raheem Morris is going to win a Super Bowl in the next couple of years? Absolutely not.
I don't know.
No, it's just he's not okay. If you stack him up with Belichick, who would you rather have? Raheem Morris? Give me a fucking break. So there's no rational reason why.
What about your boy Humphrey? And I kind of agree with him.
So what did Marlon say?
So I got that quote here for you as well. I want to read it directly so that I'm not misquoting it. He tweeted, "The greatest coach of all time," in quotation marks, "did not get hired out of 6 head coaching jobs open. I think that debate can be put to rest now." What he's saying is what I've been saying. This guy hasn't won before Tom Brady. He never won after Tom Brady. So as much as I respect him, and I will call him the greatest because he's got the rings, he's got the championships, I feel more comfortable, though, if you had to put a gun to my head and say X's and O's, leadership, everything, who's the greatest, blah, blah, blah. I feel more comfortable calling him the greatest DC of all time, opposed to calling him the greatest head coach of all time. Would
you say that does it factor in to the Big Ball's legacy of you believe that the scandals and all of the bullshit impacted how he won? Do you think that's legitimate?
I don't buy too much into that because I think if he was doing it, there's probably a lot of guys doing it.
Okay.
I mean,
because if anybody does,
you don't think Sean Payton was doing some shady stuff?
Oh, Come on. Of course he was. And you push the line, right? I think he created lines, but you push the line when you want to. And especially when you want to win and that's all you want to do. Here's the thing though. You don't think the NFL knows that? You don't think the NFL thinks, I know all that shit that you did. Maybe you shouldn't have 333 wins.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's not possible, and it's a good point to bring up because I haven't heard anyone say it. I'm just not ready to go there yet. I need him to miss out on another coaching cycle for me to jump on that boat.
We're going to put a stopgap in this right now, and we're going to keep track of it, especially for next year, because if he then goes all of a sudden like he's just now he has a 5-year, $100 million deal with Fox or NBC or CBS or whoever, and he's just going to do commentary, then I think we know where we're at. And I think maybe
think that's because no one's going to hire him.
And I'm sure exactly. And I think then, I'm sure Cowherd and Undisputed and First Take will jump all over it in about 6 months after I've said it, because that's what they do all the fucking time. They're always 6 months behind me.
By the way, before we go on, I just want to say there is a opening in the New York Jets front office, offensive coordinator, offensive assistant job for Bieniemy. Come on in.
Hello.
Any day of the week, baby.
Problem is,
I know you're gonna say
he's going back to Kansas City. No, he's going back to Kansas City. I mean,
it would fit well. The problem is Rodgers doesn't fit well with anybody. It has to be someone that's like.
And Rodgers, fucking forget about it. I know, but I think with Bieniemy himself, I think he's just going right.
There's a lot of talks though about them trying to get a different person in there to minimize Hackett's role. Nat Hackett,
Hackett,
the Nat.
Real quick, can we just figure out like Nathaniel? Like, what is it?
I don't know. I don't know where Nat
Daniel,
came from.
how does
but
Nat-
I love it because it sounds like something annoying, and that's what he is.
Hi, something that needs to be fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh God, but it ain't gonna happen. Imagine Bieniemy with Aaron Rodgers. They are like oil and water, brother. Oh,
I don't think so.
Bieniemy's a hot ass. He's a hothead and a hard ass. He's a fucking hot ass.
Where's your mind at? Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me take him to dinner. No, but like he ain't gonna blend with Rodgers, unfortunately. But he's a great offensive mind for sure. I think he goes right back to Kansas City, and that may be your fucking saving grace for your boy Mahomes. All right, listen. The next thing we want to get to is real quick. I want to get into these quarterbacks we talked about. We were going to talk about the draft quarterbacks. Who do you think is the best quarterback in this 2024 draft? Do you think it's Caleb Williams, Mr. Fingernails?
No, I don't. I think it's Drake May. I think he's more. I think he's more pro ready. I think he's got a nicer arm. He's a better size. Caleb's only like what 6'1"?
6'1", yeah.
Drake, I think, is 6'4". So right out of the gate, you already got a more prototypical size. I know you're all about the size.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
It's about the motion.
Started.
About the motion in the ocean, baby.
Don't get me started.
Anyway, I like Drake May better as the prototypical size. I think he throws a good ball. I think he's actually more. He uses his legs more, and I mean,
yeah.
To me, I just think he's more ready now. I think to me, it's more about what Caleb isn't, opposed to what Drake May is.
Sure.
And we can get into that in a minute. But what are your thoughts on Drake May to start?
Yeah, Drake May. I mean, I did I dove into the top 6 quarterbacks, but I really did a deep dive into 3 of them because there's 3 I really don't like. And there's 3 that could potentially do it. Drake May. Here's my problem with Drake May.
Oh boy,
he looks like Justin Herbert. Okay,
that's his comp. Honestly,
he's got 26 career starts. Okay, huge butt. Okay, and huge butt is right. Let's just try to stick with me here with May. Okay, he's played 2 years. Okay,
yeah.
He's 65% completion percentage, 8.4 yards per attempt. He's at basically averaging 39.50. He's got 31 touchdowns, eight picks, fucking 154 rating, all that. You see that? Well, what's he going to be? Probably top 3 pick, somewhere up there. I mean, he's definitely
probably
guy, right?
He's right now. He's slotted in as the number 2, but he might drop to 3 or 4.
Who was another North Carolina quarterback that was drafted in the top 2? Do you remember who that was?
Or was it Mitch Trubisky?
Mitch Trubisky. Okay. Now you look at these numbers. He only started 1 year. Okay. These numbers are almost fucking identical, Scotty. Okay. 68%, 8.4, 37, 40, 30 and 6, 158.
Isn't Trubisky, though, is not as much known for his accuracy, and I believe he's smaller.
He's slightly smaller than May, 6'2" and about 225.
But he's also was not a thrower of the football. He's more of a runner.
They were enamored with him in a combine, and all that. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm a little fucking worried about Drake May, and here's another reason. Before the Syracuse game, which was his first 4 games this year, he had only 5 touchdowns and 4 picks. 5 fucking games. Why did I pick the Syracuse game, the 4th game in? Well, because their top dog receiver, Tez Walker, was suspended for the first 4. Look at what his numbers turned out to be in the next 8. 19 touchdowns and 5 picks.
Well, you need some help.
To me, how can you be so reliant, especially in college? Okay, I can understand in the pros maybe, but college on one guy? I don't like that. So do I like the way he looks?
Fair.
Do I like his size? Yes, absolutely I do. Does he look like a Justin Herbert? Absolutely. Does he have the rushing ability that Justin Herbert did at Oregon? Absolutely. But I do worry that we could have ourselves a taller Mitch Trubisky on our hands, and they could get duped, and it might be the New England Patriots, but we're going to see. I know you like him, and I'll give it to you there, but I would have some worries about Drake May. I personally like Bo Nix the best. Bo Nix is, I would say he's, not a prototypical size. Okay, he's 6'1", 210, a little on the small side for me. And I'd say the pros are he's started an NCAA record 61 career starts. It's fucking absurd, right? Very accurate with touch. He's got a good arm, not great. Multiple arm angles. We all know how that's the new rage in the NFL now. Good use of pump fakes. Looked fucking awesome against Washington twice this year, okay? In 2 games that his defense couldn't help him out, okay? And he can run with the football, okay? He doesn't look to run, first, but he can run. The cons, of course, his size is not prototypical. He predominantly played at Auburn and Oregon with the spread offense, okay? So that worries me a little bit, non-pro style and all that. And he struggles throwing the ball sideways, where it's a fucking 30-yard, maybe 7-yard out across the hash. He reminds me, Scotty, of a mobile Drew Brees. I think he's a little shorter, slighter, but he's super fucking accurate, and he's got the arm angle deal, right? Who does he fit perfectly then if he's going to be a mobile Drew Brees?
Saints?
Denver.
I got it. I don't know where you were going. Hey, hey, you want to hear my problem with this guy?
Sure.
And this is actually, you tell me if you've ever experienced this with a QB draft class.
Okay.
So my issue with Bo Nix, the red flag that I'm throwing out here is,
oh boy,
why did he not play as well in the SEC?
Yeah. Yeah,
and then I want to ask you, because I was going to wait to bring this up because I didn't know Bo Nix was your guy, but
okay.
I was going to wait to bring this up, but I got to bring it up now since we're talking about it. Can you remember a draft class where literally your top 3 or 4 guys are all ACC and Pac-12 guys? I can't remember this happening ever. Like the guys you question are like the McCarthy, who's SEC, and I mean, who else is SEC?
Well,
McCarthy's Spencer Rattler, who we'll get into, he's SEC. He's not even talked about. Like the real SEC guys, it's all Pac-12 and ACC.
Yeah, the only SEC guy we got here is Jaden Daniels, and then you got a Big Ten guy with McCarthy.
Drake May's ACC.
Oh, I'm saying SEC. SEC, you got Jaden Daniels.
Oh yes, yes, you're right. You're right.
And then Big Ten, you got McCarthy. But yeah, I mean it's ACC and it's Pac-12.
But can you remember the last time this happened?
No, and the Pac-12 was phenomenal this year, and that's why. And it's a lot to do with these quarterbacks. To your question about Bo Nix and Auburn, name me ever an Auburn quarterback who was who could be a stud in the NFL that wasn't Cam Newton. Nobody. And it's just Cam Newton ran a different style offense. And of course you knew he was just a freak of a fucking athlete, but quarterbacks don't come out of Auburn because they run. It was like Alabama back in the day. They have studs all over the place. They run a very run heavy offense.
I can't think of any Auburn quarterback that was good.
And I'm telling you, I think when he transferred, Oregon, look what they did with all their quarterbacks, all the way down from, Joey Harrington. I mean, I know he didn't pan out.
People forget too, Cam wasn't supposed to be there. He was in Florida.
Yeah, he was in Florida. So, Auburn is not a quarterback school, bro. And that's why he left. And after Oregon took, it was Mariota, and then you got fucking Herbert. And then now with Nix, it's a nice trifecta there. I think Bo Nix is going to be mobile Drew Brees. I really do. Out of all these guys, he's my favorite because I believe in accuracy. I believe in starts. You know that. This guy fucking started 61 games. Holy shit.
I know, it's crazy.
And he's getting better. He keeps getting better, right? So Caleb Williams, we talked about him. Everyone.
Wait. I'm not. You were going into Caleb Williams?
Yeah. I mean, I'm done with Nick, so I wanted to go into a couple of the other ones.
Yeah, I want to talk about Caleb Williams.
Yeah. So Caleb Williams, 6'1", 215. He's got 33 career starts. I believe he's going to be a taller Kyler Murray. I think he's a fucking head case. I think just like Kyler, I don't know if the work ethic is there. I don't know if the every game, every down matters type of mentality and mindset with him. I'm a little fucking worried about that. I don't really give a shit about the fingernails as much. I don't really give a shit about him crying on the sideline after a game was over. I don't care. What I do care about is him giving up on plays. I do care about him not playing a bowl game, and him talking shit about an NFL franchise before he's not even in the fucking league yet. That's the shit that worries me. But I'll tell you what, the electricity I see on the field is very similar to what I saw from Kyler Murray. I think they both have guns. I think they both can fucking run. They scramble all over the place, make unbelievable plays, but they're just missing a couple different things. Kyler, it's his size and its mentality. I think Caleb, it's his mentality, and then maybe it's, he's all about himself and he's not as much of a team guy. So, but give me what you got about Caleb Williams.
So, look, I think Caleb's a great college quarterback. I don't want to take anything away from what he did in college. I will say, first off, his year this year was a little bit more of a down year from last year, as we all know.
And he's not running the ball, which is weird.
What I was going to say is he has the wheels, but he's not using them. He only ran for 142 yards this year.
Fucking crazy. And that worries me too, because he's saving himself, and I don't like that.
Well, not only that, but here's the biggest issue. So there's been questions about how he reads, and sometimes he's inconsistent on his decision making. Yep. And I've seen it firsthand, but I'm just saying this is what some of the scouts are saying as well. But this is the most alarming thing. Okay?
Yep.
In college, ready? Some of the worst as far as time released quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett, 3.10. Richardson, 3.10. They got Burrow here is 2.92. Stroud, 2.91. Lawrence, 2.91. And I know some of these guys were great, but they're all, at least except for the first two, all under 3 seconds. This year, Caleb Williams averaged 3.21. The last 2 years, 2022, 3.44. In 2021, 3.51. Ready for this? You want to know my comparison? Because a lot of people are comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. Go ahead.
Oh, Lord, no, definitely not. No.
Well, his style is similar. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But go ahead. What were you going to say before I go?
No, I was just going to say with the if I'm going to argue the seconds, right? Okay, because most of those guys on the list are going to be fucking phenomenal, and I think Richardson's going to be phenomenal. You just got to stay healthy. You could argue that you could say, oh, well, they got fucking phenomenal offensive lines. That's why. Bro, USC had one of the worst offensive lines in the whole league.
3.21 to 3.10 is a big difference.
It's not the offensive line. It's the fact of you're taking too long to read, number one, or number two, you are using your feet a little bit to scramble around in the pocket or create new pockets to throw the ball. So that's where it is with that. So
in the last few years, the seventh worst was 2.78. Do you know who that was?
Man.
In college. Again, you got to remember, college is different than the pros. 2.78.
Mahomes?
Zach Wilson.
Oh, God.
That's who this motherfucker reminds me of.
Oh.
He is a Zach Wilson, bro. He doesn't read the field great. He's super athletic. He holds on to the ball too long. Dude, is that out of pocket to be scared of?
I'm telling you what. I mean, if Zach Wilson is getting the ball out faster than Caleb Williams
in college,
and he was running around like crazy in college. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Honestly, I'm
just saying. To me, he's got more of a Zach Wilson than a Patrick Mahomes.
He's going to have to hope the game really, really, really evolves real fast to where he's going to fit right in. I don't believe that if the game stays the way it is for.
And I hope he does. I think his game is fun to watch.
I agree.
I just think too many people keep thinking, let's get the next Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of Mahomes out there.
It's mentality. It's mindset. You got to want to be the best. You got to want to be a teammate. You got to want to have that in you to be the guy, not just be awesome, stat wise and show off.
I also think people don't realize Mahomes is a complete nerd, and he's probably one of the best at reading defenses. Caleb Williams, to his as a positive note, doesn't seem like a nerd. He seems like I don't like the fingernail shit, but he seems like he's pretty popular wherever he goes. And he's kind of like the life of the party kind of thing. Not saying Mahomes wasn't, but Mahomes seems more of like, I'm in the books. I'm with the same chick from fucking college. I'm doing my thing. I'm focused. Like Caleb Williams reminds me more of like I'm the guy at the frat party.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's always had that. I mean, he's electric on the field. So, yeah, you're right. It is something we want to see for sure.
It's just a red flag for me. That's all
I
I'm
agree.
saying.
I agree with you. Now another guy that everyone's now fucking hopping up their draft boards because of the Heisman Trophy is Jaden Daniels, LSU quarterback. He's 6'4", 180, so that really means he's probably about $170. I really, when I watched this guy on tape, I said, and I watch him, when we watch games this year, and I've watched him all the way since Arizona State. I just remember him missing something. I remember always watching this guy be like, who the fuck is this skinny guy? And it's like he keeps making bad play after bad play.
He was at LSU for 2 years, by the way, because I know we spoke about this.
So he's got a lot of starts, right? He started for 3 years,
which is huge
with Arizona State. So 55, right? He's lightning fast when he takes off. I mean, this guy can run. I think he's a poor man's a little bit less dynamic Lamar, to be honest.
I think that's exactly what I would say.
Right?
Lamar Jackson.
Right? Very tall frame, so hopefully he can grow into it a little bit. But damn, he's fucking skinny.
He's Lamar Jackson.
And he's got a strong arm, and especially deep. I don't see a ton of intermediate or short throws, right? So the cons are, I think he's rail thin. Like I said, he gets hammered a ton. Like when he gets hit, and that's not good in the NFL. You're gonna be playing men, So if you take that,
played in
part
the
of your game
SEC
away,
though, which is a plus.
I'm with you. He has a long release. I don't like his release. His release is really long. He does run too much. And if we go over, I can go over the schedule with everybody, but, I don't want to bore anybody. But when he plays competition, he loses. And it's not like LSU is devoid of talent, okay? They fucking lose when they play legitimate teams. Florida State, Ole Miss, Bama, they lost, okay? This kid's got 2 first-round receivers and another stud in Kyron Lacey. Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors will be first-round receivers. So that's like, okay, he's got a ton of fucking talent around him. That's why he won the Heisman. And where's the shorter intermediate throws? That's what I want to know. So honestly, with Jaden Daniels, I'm worried. But go ahead.
I'm more pro Jaden Daniels than you are, but my reserves and hesitations is he's too much like fucking Lamar Jackson. I'm not a big Lamar fan. Now I think Lamar is dynamic. Okay, so let me say this: if the Jets had no Aaron Rodgers, and you had a team like the Jets that has a shit offensive line, he is a guy I think can make an immediate impact. I will say that. I have read, this is not for me watching film, because when I watch film, I just see him fucking running around and throwing a couple deep bombs, whatnot. But from what I've read, apparently coaches and scouts have commented that he's not very good with on the ball adjustments. So if the defense
checking
changes
off
shit,
audibles,
exactly, which is a little alarming, but I mean, I guess you could teach that. But to me, a couple things I look for is how you handle pressure, how you can throw the ball, and how you can read defenses. And if you can't even figure out checks at the line, it's a little bit of a red flag. I just think this guy's got more wheels than of an arm, and maybe that's the wrong way to say it.
Yeah,
but I think it's enough wheels to where he can survive the NFL. Excuse me, and be more like a Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
it maybe develop.
Yeah, and again, we don't know where the game is going. So if the game is going a little bit more towards the new style than the old style, then maybe these dudes are going to pan out a little better than we think. I sure as hell didn't think that Lamar would take Monken's offense.
I did not either.
I
did not either. He's actually impressed me quite a bit this year.
So maybe that's where we're going. But here's another guy, for my beloved Michigan Wolverines, national fucking champions this year, baby. Jim Harbaugh did it, and he shoved it in everybody's face. He's fucking the past 3 years owned Ohio State. Don't let me get started here. Do
you have a comp for this guy? Because I got one.
McCarthy, I don't. I want to hear yours. I'm not a fan, even though
AJ McCarron is my comp.
Oh, yeah. I
just think he was put in the right situation. I think this is the kind of guy. I think this is the kind of guy that maybe could have success if he's put in like a. And this is no knock on Purdy or Jimmy G or anybody, but if he's in like a Shanahan type of offense or team where like the whole team's ready to go and we bring you in just to be a game manager, maybe he can be successful. Maybe he can be a promising backup. I don't see this guy as a starter. That's just my opinion.
He's not a franchise guy. He's not a first-round quarterback, especially to me. And honestly, like you said, he'd have to
be wrong, but I don't know.
He'd have to be a perfect situation But again, he was with a perfect situation with Michigan, and they shied away from him. Any chance they could, they took the ball out of his fucking hands. I don't like that. I don't like it.
True.
You know, and he's on the very, very, very low side of career starts to me. It's that 24 threshold, Scotty. Nobody's made it except the exceptional talents. Kyler, Cam, Alex Smith, and Michael Vick are the only 4 fucking quarterbacks that have done anything in the National Football League with 24 or less starts. Okay.
I will say too, it's always kind of nerve-wracking when you're a part of a championship team and the team's more known for their defense and their run game, and you're the quarterback.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, it just how many games did they win just handing the ball off? You know,
I agree.
So you know that worries me about JJ, and I think he's going to go in the first round. I think it's a huge mistake. Now, I'm so torn on this guy, Scotty.
Penix?
So torn on Michael Penix Jr.
I'll tell you my thoughts on him after you.
Washington, from the Washington Huskies. I'm really torn on this guy. Oh man, 45 career starts. He started 3 years with Indiana, then the last 2 with Washington. But I massive injury concerns. You know, as accurate as this fucking guy is,
2 ACLs, right?
As 2 ACLs on different knees. He's had shoulder stuff. He's got a lot of shit going on. And I'm telling you, he got mangled and embarrassed by that Michigan defense in that championship game. And it was like every play, it was like he was hurting something different. Ribs, fucking shoulder, leg. You know, I don't know if I could take the guy in the first couple rounds. Do you want to take a flyer and get him in the 4th or 5th or 6th? No problem. But I'm not taking him high, Scotty. I want to hear what you think.
He had a solid senior day. I know you didn't watch it, but he looked good in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
But to me, first off, Jets defensive coordinator Olbrich was one of the coaches on his squad and actually came out with a comment saying, I don't want to play against this guy. So, I mean, that's a ringing endorsement. Olbrich's pretty respected in the league. And, I mean, some people are like, oh, the Jets going to take this guy. I don't think so. And if this guy doesn't want a 3rd ACL out of that fucking MetLife turf, I wouldn't accept it either way. But my problem with this guy is the thing is with this guy can sling it. This guy apparently
he's the best passer in a draft to me.
He can sling it. And apparently he's got the highest. Well, I don't want to say the highest, but people rave about his IQ on the football field.
Yeah.
So he's a smart motherfucker that can throw the ball.
Sure.
The problem is, and to me, this is the biggest detriment to being an NFL quarterback. If you can't do this, to me, you're never going to be a successful starter. Apparently, he's not very good under pressure. And I mean, like you know, pressure, like D-line pressure.
Fantastic offensive line. He's had a lot of fucking time.
But guess what?
Time, there's nobody better.
But guess what? He played the best defense in college, not the pros, college, and he looked like dog shit. Yeah. So when you go to the pros, the worst defense is going to be better than that Michigan defense. So do you have really any success in the NFL? I don't know.
It's tough. It's tough. You lump that on top of the injuries. It's tough to take him, man. But I'll tell you what.
He's a guy I'd take a flyer in like a 3rd or 4th round, maybe.
Yeah. When you go back, like in, you know, there's a bunch of college quarterbacks that you say, damn, like this guy was amazing. This guy was amazing. What happened? Like, why didn't he fucking pan out? Blah, 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 blah. He's going to be another one of these guys. I mean, you're going to go back and watch his college tape and say, this guy was fucking phenomenal. And then it's just not going to work, you know? And so I'm very intrigued to see where this guy ends up landing and when. Because he was up there, you know, before the championship game, talked up about as a 1st-round quarterback, and now you're talking about there's dudes saying he's not even going to get fucking drafted because of his injuries. So crazy. But yeah, I hate to see it because again, I think he was the best passer in college this year, and just sucks to see. All right, you got anything pressing that you want to fucking get off your mind?
Well, I do want to, before we go any further, I do want to drop in a guy that intrigues me is Spencer Rattler.
Oh yeah. We're forgetting about the Rattler.
So a lot of people he was like considered to be potentially the number 1, like what, 2 years ago?
A couple years ago, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's fallen off quite a bit as far as that goes. But
a transfer from Oklahoma, yeah.
But to me, he still performs pretty well. Like, so everything I've seen and everything I've read, the biggest knock on him, there's 2 things. He can sometimes be inconsistent on his decision making, which is never a great thing. And then the other thing is, which is also not a great thing, is his pocket awareness seems to be dog shit. It seems like he doesn't know when to run, when not to run, when to step up. Sometimes he like takes, I've noticed this too, like he'll take a snap and he'll like backpedal way too far instead of like kind of stepping up into the pocket because of pressure. So like things like that, I think they can be fixed. I think he's a guy that if you take a flyer on him and you put him in a situation where he plays, like for instance, I know Detroit took a flyer on Hooker last year, but if a team like Detroit that has a good offensive line and has a quarterback right now, if he went back there, learned, got more comfortable, a situation like that, he might turn out to be a guy that no one's really talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the number one quarterback 3 or 4 years ago coming out of high school. Went to Oklahoma, was supposed to be the fucking god and the savior for Oklahoma. Didn't turn out to be that. So much so that they turned to Caleb Williams and then kicked him out of school. So Caleb Williams came in, fucking blew everybody's doors off.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is like he lost his job to Caleb Williams, who's now projected to be the number 1 overall pick. So it's like, how much do we really fault him for it?
Sure. But you got to think though, here's my only knock on Rattler, right? If Rattler came out as like I said, I think it's the number 1 quarterback coming out of high school. He goes to Oklahoma. Do you think you could go to a fucking better school to be a quarterback in college? Let's just think. Baker Mayfield, Heisman. Kyler Murray, Heisman. Jalen Hurts, second Heisman, right? Second place Heisman. You know, a couple years before that, Sam Bradford, Heisman. You know, Jesse White, Heisman. Like, it's the best school to go to as a quarterback. And if he can't make it there, you know, I don't know. Now, I like the fact that he went to the SEC and he became a cock. All right. But the fact is that, you know, you're going to be playing against fucking good defenses, great defenses in the SEC. So it's a little bit more pro ready. And maybe, you know, the demotion from Oklahoma, you know, got his head out of his ass a little bit. I think he's going to be a guy like a Dak Prescott, like a Kirk Cousins, guys that got drafted later than they should have. And they're going to have
he's like a middle of the road.
They're going to have something to prove, and he's going to be. I think he's going to be better off than say a guy like Penix or someone like that, or even a JJ McCarthy like in the first round or whatever, because he's gonna want it, you know. And I like that. I like Rattler as your little your sneaky fucking nugget there. I like it.
Yeah, that is my little nug.
Yeah,
hey, a couple things I want to throw your way. We don't have time to get into the whole Super Bowl thing. We'll get that in next time.
Yeah,
but I do want. But there is a couple things. Speaking of accolades, I saw this. This came across the internet, and I thought this was interesting. Ready for this?
All right.
2016. All right. Yeah. Joey Bosa, Rookie of the Year. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember what school he went to?
Yeah, unfortunately. The Ohio State.
Correct. The next year, 2017, Marshawn Lattimore. Do you remember what school he went to?
The Ohio State.
2019, so not 2018, but 2019. Nick Bosa.
I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say
one
that.
rookie Bosa.
Piece of shit name again.
The Ohio State.
Yep.
The next year, 2020, Chase Young, Rookie of the Year.
Where are you going?
Ohio State.
Where are you
2022. So not 2021, but 2022. Yeah. Garrett Wilson, Rookie of the Year. The Ohio State.
A fuck eye. Yes, go ahead.
This year, we got the awards coming up on Saturday or Thursday, I believe.
Okay.
Everyone believes CJ Stroud's going to win it.
Oh, wow.
So we're talking about
fuck eye Rookie of the Years.
We're talking about 6 out of the last 8 years out of Ohio State. Isn't that incredible?
That is incredible. That is
holy shit, dude.
Holy shit is right. Wow. That is fucking crazy. Real quick, out of that list there, isn't it amazing that you would say probably the worst player of that list is Chase Young?
Oh.
Is that nuts?
Great segue, my friend. Do you know what the rumor is on the internet right now?
Okay.
The rumor is on the internet that apparently John Lynch, had an interview talking about how the defense had issues with people giving effort. And he said the issue's been addressed and it won't happen again, is what he basically said, to kind of paraphrase him.
Mhm.
He didn't name any names, but the internet right now is having a field day, assuming he's talking about Chase Young. And there's rumors circulating that Chase Young might get benched for the Super Bowl. What are your
I'll
thoughts
tell you,
on that?
Scotty, I watched that game against Detroit, and he was the weak link on their defensive line. I mean, for sure.
Could you imagine?
I don't believe he is a pass run player. I think he's a pass rusher. I don't think he's a defensive end. I think he's a one trick pony, and he hasn't been great at that one trick. So, and he's got.
I mean, he had an okay year. I mean,
he's got knee
14
problems.
He had 12 or 14 sacks this year, which
don't
I know
think so.
your ideas on sacks. Yeah, he had a exceptional amount of sacks this year.
I don't know. Chase Young, to me, and again, if you tackle the quarterback once a game, you're a fucking all pro. I just don't understand that. But,
I know you. I know your thoughts on that.
But I'll tell you, with Chase Young, everyone thought he was going to be like the next fucking Reggie White when he came out of Ohio State. I mean, he's not even as good. He's not even close to even Joey Bosa, for Christ's sake. So,
or Nick Bosa, for that matter, who's on the same
Bosa can play. I mean, Nick Bosa is probably the best on that list you just mentioned. But yeah, man, it is incredible. 6 Buckeyes over the past 8 years are the rookie.
Oh, he only had 7.5 this year.
Yeah, no, he's been down this year big time. And I think
it's the most he's ever had.
What was the pick Washington gave them? Was it a second rounder or some shit?
I don't know.
Or San Fran gave to Washington? I think it was like a second rounder.
I think it was a second rounder.
That's brutal. It's a brutal deal,
bro.
Because he's not even going to resign. They're not going to resign his ass now.
John Lynch and Shanahan are the luckiest motherfuckers, because on one hand they build like a monster. On the other hand, I've never seen a duo do more doofus shit than these two motherfuckers with Trey Lance, Chase Young. I mean, it feels like. I mean, again, you can tell me I'm a fucking idiot for saying this now, but at the time, to think the Christian McCaffrey deal was going to work out is insane. You're a fucking running back factory, and you have issues with injuries. You went and got a guy coming off an injury who's a running back. To me, was mind-boggling. Now it's worked out. It's worked out.
Yeah,
but to think. You look back at that, what they gave up, bro. They gave up everything for this motherfucker,
and they had to pay him. And I'm with you on that to an extent until you say to me, our quarterback is either Garoppolo, who was making middle money, or our quarterback is Trey Lance, who's making rookie money, or our quarterback is the last fucking pick of the draft and is making peanuts. So I mean,
I get it. 800,000.
The only way it works. It's the only way it works.
Supposedly, this motherfucker still lives in. He lives in an apartment with a roommate.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy.
I know. This is big. We'll get into that on our next episode, ladies and gentlemen. But it's going to be a huge Super Bowl for a couple guys, and we're going to
huge,
absolutely huge. It's going to be fantastic. Okay. As big as that's going to be, as huge as it's going to be. Our next episode is going to be even huger than that. So, but I think we're going to wrap up our first fucking live segment here. Our first
not
live
too bad
stream. We went from podcasting to videos, and now we're live, and I love it. I really do believe that this is going to be the future of Naked Bootleg.
We got to get some viewers to
get some comments.
Give us your comments. Absolutely. And we can address them.
Absolutely. So we're going to do some promotion. We're going to get out there because we are fucking better than most of these fucking hacks on the internet. And I'm going to start fucking doing it up. I thought this was great today. I'm pleased. So Scotty boy, you got anything else?
I got nothing, man. Let's end it up.
All right, baby. So until next time. This is Rocco B, and for Scotty G, I'm saying see you later and sayonara.
Adios.